All right, how's it going, everybody? This is our final panel of the night. I am tired. I'm incredibly excited because of just the fact that we pulled this thing off. I got to say again that big shout goes to Carlos Benitez and Dimitri Billups, and of course Jackie Rindy, who helped me put this thing together. I had a conversation the other day with someone who's a very important figure in the world of comic books, certainly to me, but to a lot of people. And as we were talking about, just Saturday AM and the things I was hoping to accomplish, he talked about this particular event and how, they've this company, which is, certainly more established than Saturday AM, has been around for decades. He certainly has been around for decades, and he just was impressed that we were even attempting this and we're trying to pull it off. And considering how late night I was up last night trying to put this thing together with, I'm having an echo. Is there an echo from my audio? Are you hearing the echo too, Jackie? Everybody's hearing the echo? All right. Hopefully you guys aren't hearing an echo. I don't know what I did to change it, so I'm not talking through a microphone. But anyway, I'll just say that no echo. Okay, great. So I'll just say that again, a big shout out to our team. As I've indicated, what makes Saturday so special is the fact we have so many people who have really supported one another and been there for the wider vision of what we've been trying to build. I've been trying to build since 2013, and I'm just really happy that this first day has gone off as successfully as it has. And now we finish with this really big moment, which is to talk about. Yeah, I'm in my tank top too, folks. I'm sorry, but like it is warm up here in my house, and it's going to be like freezing this weekend, so I'm having to compensate. But anyway, we're at the tail end of the first day. Now, this panel is all about Saturdayam 2022 and beyond, and we are going to split that up. So we're going to talk about some things tomorrow morning. We'll do a little tease about it tonight. But tonight, I want to focus it all on our graphic novel program. So I think it's important before we begin to, Jackie Carls, I don't know if you guys are you able to pull up like a site? Can you pull up our website, or is that not possible? Sorry. I meant to tell you that earlier. Can we pull that up? I can do a screen share. Is that right? I can do the screen share. Let me do the screen share. Whoops. So, folks, I know I'm talking about how well we're doing things, and then I messed up by not telling the team that I wanted to do this part first. There we go. All right. I think I can show you guys my screen. I hope I can. Let's see here. I'm going to share my screen, Jackie. So hopefully it won't mess me up there. Can everyone see the screen? Saturday team, you can send me a IM on Workplace if this is okay. Can everyone see the screen? Okay, perfect. All right. So when we started the whole context of Saturday AM, as we heard earlier when we talked to so many of our panelists today, and again, big shout out to them as well. Tokyo Pop, Media Do, Tapas, Cool Worldwide, Sanford Green, a legendary figure like Sanford Green, and so many great journalists from Black Girl Nerds and Melanin Animated. When you looked at what we tried to do, it wasn't the first notion that people, we weren't the first one to think about doing a Shonen Jump type of product, but doing it in the digital context back in 2013 was different. And doing it with the focus that we brought to diversity was crucial. We have always lived by that credo. When I started the company, that was always the focus, was getting diverse creators who want to operate in the manga style, and we're trying to bring new, fresh perspectives to this category that we all love so much. As I talked about earlier in the History of Saturday AM panel, when you look at some of the things that we did, some of the things that we pioneered, I mean, just having, a digital magazine that felt like a magazine. It wasn't just a PDF where things were put together, which we've seen other companies do over the years, but it was set up just like a traditional print publication. You had your magazine issue number. You had a real strong conceptual piece to it in terms of what the cover would be. I was really really dedicated to the idea that it had to feel like a magazine, even with the table of contents, and we had a letter from the publisher, that you had to feel like when you stepped into it, you were being engaged with an entire brand apparatus. Because when you went to normal webcomic site, that wasn't the case, right? It was just like, you just kind of got thrown into the deep end of whatever comic it was. They usually started you at the last chapter, at the last page of the last chapter that they had just released, and you had to go backwards. And for me, I wanted to really get as close to the Shonen Jump model as possible, including ads, interviews, articles, and so on. And we've maintained that for all these years, creating fantastic content like Clock Striker, Shonen Manga's first Black female lead character, and so many great creators over the years, like Jay Oden, White Manga, Oscar Fong, Senny, Raymond Brown, and so on. You can see we take even the interviews very seriously. We've got some fantastic design from some of the great staff members that we have to make the Saturdayam experience truly unique in both the digital and physical landscapes. However, it's the physical part that was always the holy grail, because what we were doing was right. It was the right moment, it was the right time, it was the right thing to do. Diversity is always important. As I said earlier in one of the panels, this notion that the audience has just come to discover manga, or the industry just come to discover Black fans, is ridiculous. Black fans have always been here. I'm one of them. Diverse fans have always been here. They've always found the content one way or another and championed it in their own way. But the physical part was important because at the end of the day, that was the crucial element. Being able to hold it in your hand is what really made the difference in the support that one would have towards a brand, towards a product, towards a property, towards a story. Tapas and what they're doing, which is incredible, was fantastic and revolutionary for the digital experience, being able to read a story in that streaming context. You can see we've always adopted and always maintained a traditional model. And again, the benefit of this ultimately is to have a physical volume of product. So that's why we are so excited at our announcement we made back in October with the team at, see if I can close this here, stop sharing my screen, there we go, at the team that we discovered at Quarto Group. We were approached by a number of companies to bring our incredible content to fans around the world, certainly in the US, and we ultimately chose the Quarto Group for several reasons. The biggest one being that they were incredibly professional, they were kind, they were patient, they cared about, and this is always the key when you actually champion diversity, finding those folks who actually don't just say it when it's convenient, but they actually did it. It actually matters. And I was really stunned by how committed they were to our commitment to diversity. Like, they recognize it as a feature, not some bug, not some marketing gimmick. So tonight, we were going to talk about the full program, because right now I don't think everyone fully understands it. We want to tell you about why this is such an exciting moment for independent manga creators everywhere. And to do that, I'm going to bring on, one at a time, some of the creators of these graphic novels that you're going to be able to experience this year from your favorite e-commerce store or your favorite store. First, let me share my screen again and bring up to you guys what essentially is the our program that we have here with Quarto Group. So as usual, I've got to see how I can get this set up here. This is never super easy, folks. I admire those people who can do this without any problem whatsoever. Let's see here. There we go. And there we go. All right. I think I've got it. I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. For those of you who are thinking to yourselves like, man, Frederick's really slow with this, Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it feels like to be old. Okay. All right. So everyone can see the screen? Awesome. Okay. All right. The Quarto Group, if you guys have not heard of them, it was the first time I'd heard of them. But they are a substantial multinational and multi-product line publisher. When they revealed their partnership with us, I was really struck by their opening line. The Quarto Group announces a partnership with digital and manga comic brand Saturdayam for a publishing program of manga-inspired comics featuring greater diversity and inclusion. The comics will be published under their art and design imprint, Rockport Publishers, showcasing creators from across the globe, from Senegal to New Zealand, with more BIPOC and LGBTQ characters in their work. This new style of manga elevates voices who rarely appear in traditional manga narratives. The strength that Quarto Group brings to us is incredible staff, knowledge, a diverse portfolio, a diverse set of content that they have published and distributed. And so I can't tell you how big of a deal this is for independent creators everywhere, that companies like Quarto Group are willing to take a chance on Saturdayam. If you haven't heard about them, you will be, because we're going to make sure you hear about them. We are as excited about working with them as they are excited about working with us. I want to give a special shout out to the folks who we've worked with these past 6 months, who have been incredible in their support. Joy, Ann Ray, Ann Landa, Christine, Mel, and Winnie. This past week, I had a chance to sit inside of, or to be a part virtually of their sales conference, and to hear the excitement around us was incredible. But more importantly, when I had a chance to see all the content they're releasing, both in the productivity space as well as other content plays they've got, calendars and young adult, young kid books and so forth. It was an incredible feeling to know that our brand is going to be with people who genuinely understand how to help us and our creators maximize our opportunities to reach the many fans around the world. So you're going to get used to seeing these logos. We're going to talk a lot about our partnership with them, and we are incredibly excited about what we've got planned in store for you with them. What makes this deal so unique, folks, because you're going to hear a lot of folks who have come after Saturdayam and were inspired by Saturdayam, who will hopefully have their own deals. But what makes our deal unique, as many things that we do at Saturdayam, is the fact that, number one, we're the first ones to do a deal like this. This is a definitively different type of partnership. You're going to see Saturdayam products coming out that we drove. We're not having to produce this content per Quarto's regulations. We're producing the content, as we always have, that we believe in, and Quarto was giving us all the opportunities and all the support to get it to you. So we are bringing you true, diverse manga. We are launching this program in 2022, this year, with 10 books. I want you to understand how hard that is and how rare that is. Webtoon, a company that posted or stated that they posted recently revenues that were 1.2 billion, just announced they have a new program called Webtoon Unscrolled. You all know Webtoon. We're fans of Webtoon. We're fans of Tapas. Webtoon has hundreds of millions of users. Webtoon has tens of thousands of comics. Webtoon Unscrolled, their first print initiative, is bringing out 10 books. And so are we. And we are certainly not as big as Webtoon. So that tells you the commitment that we have with Quarto and that Quarto has with us. In fact, the 10 books that we're releasing this year are 10 books. And next year, there will be another 10 books at least, meaning that you can expect, if you support our line, that we will bring you more content. We're not stopping with what we do this year. We're going straight for fans everywhere around the world, and we're bringing you as much of the amazing Saturday AM content that you've enjoyed these past few years to your stores and your e-commerce facilities and your libraries. These books will have new material, so these will not be like the graphic novels you've enjoyed from us in the past. They'll be re-edited, they'll be rewritten in some cases, they'll be re-lettered, there'll be new artwork, and there'll be some innovations that I like to talk about. What we're really excited about, and again, what really typifies this partnership in ways that I never could have dreamed of, is the fact that we are offering a type of manga experience that is different. First and foremost, no, our books will not be read in traditional Japanese orientation. We thought about it, we considered it, Quarto was in support of it, and we rationalized that with all the amazing creators that we have around the world who have operated for the past 8 to 9 years in the traditional Western orientation, it would be too difficult for us to change that. Difficult not in the sense that we couldn't do it, difficult in the sense that characters whose identity is tied to the fact that they might be left-handed would now have to have tremendous work put into flipping the experience for them while maintaining their left side oriented pattern or character element, character distinction. What we care about is getting awesome content to you and not in trying to meet a fidelity or a sort of a hierarchy of structure that everyone tells us we have to do. As long as you, as you've shown for the past 9 years, like our characters, like our brand, like the way we tell stories, then that's all that matters. So the books will be in the Western orientation, just like the Manga magazine. However, something Manga doesn't do that we will be doing is offering a post-credit scene. This post-credit scene occurs at the end of the book. Think of it as a unique or a really special epilogue. These extra pages will take the story into brand new directions that no previous reader of Apple Black or Saigami or MWOG or Titan King will have suspected. In fact, one of the things that's so unique about what we'll be doing is that some of these post-credit scenes might give you some characters that you didn't know could interact with your favorite series. We're bringing the multiverse to manga. No more do we have to have the thoughts about, well, could Dragon Ball, could Goku and Naruto be friends? Who's more powerful, Luffy or Ichigo? Over this first year of stories, you will begin to experience what a manga-style multiverse would look like and feel like. You'll be able to experience it in our books. This program for the graphic novels as well are going to be pulling from everywhere. This is Saturday AM because that is our biggest brand. Everyone knows Saturday AM, but you will see in this first year content from our sister publication, Saturday PM, and certainly in the future, we'll be pulling content from Saturday Brunch, Saturday Afternoon, and who knows where else. So we're incredibly excited about this graphic novel program. We have so much more to show you because you don't know what all these books are, but we're going to show you right now. First up, I want to talk about our How to Draw Diverse Manga book. This was the very first product that we agreed on or agreed to with Quarto Group. We are so excited for this book because it gives many of our fans who want to create their own diverse manga but felt like perhaps they couldn't or that it wasn't right. This gives them the ability to see how they can envision themselves in a manga style piece of content. Now, this book is not going to cover everything. We wish it would, but it's going to cover so much more. And we're so excited about the fact that this book will offer things that you haven't seen in nearly all other how to draw books. We give you faces, features, and expressions. We give you bodies, proportions, and body positivity. No more creating characters who are just super thin. Heroism has no shape. We give you hair, and not just spiky hair that manga is, of course, rife with. We give you afros, braids, waves, the two-bun style that's popular in some Asian cultures. We show you how to develop character design through the language of shape, silhouette, and color schemes. And we show you how to do all these things while avoiding stereotypes and caricatures, something that, again, if we're being honest, comics around the world have often done a poor job of, whether it's in Japan or America. And we can show you that because this book is illustrated by talent from around the world, from Saturdayam talent. We have the one and only white manga. We have Jay Oden. We have Venus Bambiza. We have Oscar Fong. We have Cindy. We have Morgan Walker. We have Mitch Proctor. And the list goes on. Right off the bat, artists from Nigeria, Hungary, the United Kingdom, United States of America, Senegal, and more. Our How to Draw a Diverse Manga book comes out first in June this year, and it'll have a retail price of $24.99. Folks, we're proud of everything we're doing this year, but this book is something that we are incredibly proud of. If you've ever watched White Manga's videos, if you ever watched the videos from many of our creators, Jay Oden, Blake Showers, Senny, or Saigami Project, then this is a book that you will feel comfortable with because those individuals are part of it. So please take a chance and check out this book. There's some content online that you can see. And if you think this is the right book for you and your art plans and your art goals, please continue support. Please support this book. Consider supporting it by pre-ordering the book today. We're going to talk about the pre-order campaign in a moment. Now, this book comes out in June, and we've got 3 other titles coming out in June. I want to talk about them now, but bring up this first person. You know him, the one and only White Manga. You there, White? Is White there? Yeah, I was connecting. Okay. All right. Can White hear me? Is White there now? Can you hear me, White? I can't hear White. White,
yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
All right, I can hear you now. Yeah. All right. So, real quickly, White, you've had gazillion fans. You've just blown up over the years. When you first started with Saturdayam, of course, when we started the company, and folks know Apple Black. They know it well. I was talking to someone today. I think Michael Son talked about Apple Black. So, I mean, everyone knows Apple Black. This new edition of Apple Black is reconstituted a little bit. Can you tell everybody some of the things they can expect? Obviously, no spoilers, but can you tell them some of the things that you worked on to make this book one of the more complete versions of the story?
So hopefully I don't know if I'm showing. Okay. So one of the things I worked on was to tweak first off, I tweaked a couple things with the tweaks, very subtle, right? And this is for all characters for the most part, but a few character design touched a bit. Obviously, art and grammar, where applicable, is improved upon. There are some exclusive pages that will only be available for this version of the book, especially with the post-credit scene that teases the Saturday multiverse and all the goodies that come with that. Um, and then obviously you get a new cover, a couple colored pages, and it now the book obviously has higher quality print and is in a more traditional book size when it comes to what you would be accustomed to for manga books in bookstores. And obviously then these books are also going to be available worldwide in bookstores, translated, and all of that.
So,
So those are the first things that come to mind. But overall, with this run, prior to the existence of the book deal, the you can say timeline of the story.
no, let's not. I was gonna say I want to save some stuff. We got a second book coming up, but so please
Okay.
don't talk about any future stuff just yet. But for
Yeah.
now, I just the key thing is that so the folks who bought the first book, they're going to be excited for this new book because you've done a lot of reworking of the material, and you've even changed some characters and so forth, right?
Yes, I've changed, and I wasn't going to give much away. I was just going to say, obviously, things storyline wise have just subtly been moved around, and so yeah, I've changed some designs as well. So it's almost like, I don't know if you saw Loki, right? You can think of this as a variant timeline, but it's still overall the same skeleton story going forward.
Awesome. Okay. And you guys, of course, see that it's a gorgeous, brand new cover from the one and only White Manga. Folks, this will be retailing at $13.99 in the US, £9.99 in the UK. And we're going to have White back here. So be prepared to hear some more from White in just a moment. But next up, thank you, White. Next up, we're going to talk to Cine for Saigami. Okay, so Cindy there now. I can't see the screen actually as I've got this up. So is Cindy there? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've got Sagami Volume One. Obviously, there's some changes here. Can you, without spoiling anything particularly, but can you talk a little bit about some of the things that fans can expect for this new version of Saigami?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, White said some of the big quality changes with this book, different size, better quality printing, brand new lettering, especially in Saigami case. We fixed up many of the dialogues as well to be better read in English, which was a known issue with the previous volume one. And in general, the art was touched up in many of the scenes. Several scenes have been changed. And I think one of the most important things is that the story starts off from a different foot, steering the story somewhat in a different direction than the original version, but it's still being the same Saigami as you experienced before, but now you will see things in a different light. And I think that could be a very, very exciting thing for the fans to see, that while this is still the same story in essential, but it's not necessarily the same, because there are certain things that changed, and that can change the whole reading experience.
Yeah, there's some. I think people will be really pleasantly surprised at some of the developments that Cindy's come up with for the story, and some things that make the story, like she said, framed in a new light that will be surprising to the character and the world. White had mentioned some color elements, Cindy. Obviously, it's something that I don't think I touched on earlier. So these books will have color in them. Not every page, of course, but you've got some beautiful color art in here as well, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, not too many like colored pages in terms of colored panels, but several illustrations people haven't seen before, and several scenes received color as well for the actual pages and chapters, as well as some new pages. They'll have color as well.
Awesome. Okay, so like I said, folks, I think all these books are going to have some interesting elements to them, especially the books that have been released prior, and there's a few of these that have. I think people will probably be the most surprised at some of the things that Cindy did, and there's some really beautiful art. Cindy's obviously had some beautiful art before, but there's some really beautiful art that she added or tweaked in this edition that I think people will be really excited by. So we really hope that you guys will support this new title. And it's a new amazing start for Saigami. We know Saigami's got a lot of fans, so we hope you guys will be ready for this one. And again, it'll be $13.99. It comes out alongside of Apple Black Volume 1 in June. So we're just a couple of months away from experiencing this new amazing world. Experience this new world, but in a new amazing way. So so thank you, Cindy. I want to bring up next Jay Oden. You there, Jay?
What's going on?
I can't ever like the screen. I can't see anything past the screen. All I see is the screen. So I didn't know when people were up or not. I'm just sitting there waiting for them to say something, but like I didn't have to worry about you when you came up. There was no stealth tactic. You just came up. So, Hammer, Volume 1. So I actually saw someone talking about this earlier today, and it was in the afternoon chat, and a great group of young people, and they were talking about the fact that they were like, I think I own Hammer. I'm thinking, no, you don't.
I mean, it would be pretty impressive if you somehow did. No,
they were confusing it. I think with Jay Oden All Stars, which we did with you.
The one shots, yeah.
The one shots, yeah, a couple of years ago. Hammer, obviously, everyone loves Jay. Everyone loves Hammer, and this is one of the fun titles. Saigami and Apple Black, have some really great comedy in them. They have some great characters in them, but they've got there's a serious streak to it. And Hammer, just kind of has a really fun streak throughout. It's really kind of a fun, I guess whimsical kind of sort of character and worlds that he explores. Talk a little bit about Hammer as a concept, and a little bit about this volume, which is different from what we had planned to do a while back. What this volume does for the story.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what Hammer is about a kid who gets sucked into his father's journal, and now he has to find a way out while battling all the dangers around him, turning any part of his body into a hammer. Thus the hammer fists. And what I did for this volume, some changes that were different than the original vision. One, it's not going to be fully in color. When I first started drawing this series, it was on Webtoons actually. And I wanted it to be in color because I knew that, color attracts, not only, kids, but also, everybody else. That it's just something that was different. So I figured I would keep it in color. But then, as the years were passing by and as, we were doing this deal, I started realizing, you know what, I really want this vision that I had a long time ago of this just being a manga to just be a manga. So unfortunately, there are not as many color pages as what it was going to be. It's but it still has color elements. In the future, I plan on adding some more. But it looks really cool. I added a chapter. I added 2 chapters actually, and I redrew some scenes. I'm really excited for this book. I think anybody that picks it up is going to, if at nothing else, have a lot of fun reading it. Hopefully you'll have a lot of fun rereading it over and over again. But it was I really like the story. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen.
So we've got a sorcerer or magician in Sano of Apple Black. We've got a powerful young female warrior coming into her own who has flame abilities, and now we've got a young kid who's got hammers for hands. So it just gives you a sense of the eclectic, unique, and cool characters of Saturday AM. Thank you, Jay. We're going to come back to you as well, but let's now go to Pop Sule Fall. So is Pop Sule there, Jackie, or did Pop Sule make it in?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Heard you come in, so there we go. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
So we have Pop Sule. So Pop Sule, first of all, tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Senegal.
Senegal, Africa, and you did a unique work called Oblivion Rouge. Now, this is the first title that'll come out in July. So we just gave you 3 books, Apple Black, Saigami, Hammer, coming out in June, alongside of our How to Draw a Diverse Manga book. But this is the first step beyond June, showing you just how extensive our program is. And this one is a really special one because Oblivion Rouge is all African. The characters, the world, the series. This also is unique because it runs in Saturday PM, which is our sibling magazine devoted to older, what you call seinen level content. Can you tell people a little bit about the story for Oblivion Rouge and what makes it so unique?
Sure, yeah. Just want to apologize. My voice is a little raspy, but I'll do my best, so you can understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so Oblivion Rouge is set in this sort of futuristic, Afrofuturistic space called the Kafuri, and this virus is taken over, and two legions are fighting against each other to sort of gain control of this continent, and one has the cure, and one is trying to get that cure, and in the middle of it is Umi and her family and friends, and she's trying her dear best to hold on to all these people that she cares about amongst this sort of turmoil and war. So it's been really exciting working on it too.
I think what many people have probably heard the term of, but this will be one of the first opportunities for them to see it, especially in a manga-inspired piece of content, is Afrofuturism. Great Octavia Butler. This story takes place in the future, and it involves, I think it's fair to say, otherworldly elements. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, and one of the things that inspired you was, because when you first pitched me on this, the thing that you referenced that inspired you was what Japanese movie, young man?
It was Akira.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Akira?
No.
Which one was it?
A bunch of kids fighting one another.
Oh, yeah, that's right. By Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. Kids, our fan base, if you go watch Battle Royale, don't tell us we told you to watch it. It's a violent movie. It's a very violent movie. And Oblivion Rouge has some very violent elements in it. So this will be one of our first titles that is geared towards an older teen audience. But we think that you'll really love it. It's got some great characters. It's got some great world building. And we're really proud to be able to publish this first title from what I think is going to be a young visionary in this industry. So, Pop Sule, thank you so much. Go rest that voice.
Thank you.
Oblivion Rouge available for pre-order right now, folks. $13.99 for this fantastic volume. Next up, we have Titan King. Is Tony Dawkins here? No, Tony. All right. Well, then I'll go through this one real quickly then. So, folks, Titan King is something we published before, and it's always had a very fun fan base. We've retooled it, reset the story a little bit, taken it a bit in some different directions a bit. So if you've owned the original POD version that we did, this one's going to be holistically different. So where Saigami, we're saying he added some really cool elements of Saigami to just shift your perspective a little bit, and it's really, really great what she did with that. And where White and Jay added in some things that changed the way some of the characters maybe looked or the way some of the characters were perceived. This one is fundamentally different because there were things we did to just really reset the story in a very different and very exciting way. The story still is the same. And the idea here is that it's a young kid from Honduras. Tony Dawkins, the creator of this, has lineage in Honduras. He's a Afro-Latino. And what makes the story so fascinating is that this is old school Shonen hijinks. This is a young kid who's already a tough character, already loves to stand up for the little guy and fight, and he gets co-opted to be in this intergalactic tournament where fighters must bond with these gigantic beasts called Titans, and they have to duke it out. And whoever wins their planet will get all these opportunities to potentially lord over everyone else. So it's really a fight for the future of the galaxy. And our hero, Eli, is put into this world, we won't say how, and has to find his own path to meet his own destiny and at the same time care about and consider the fate of the future of the galaxy. This is completely balls to the wall, action, fun. And if you are a reader of titles like Dragon Ball and so forth, you'll really appreciate the sort of indie vibe in that direction that this has. It's got some great diversity to it. It's got some great art with it. Really proud of Titan King. Really proud of Tony. We hope you guys will check this out. $13.99. This book comes out in August. Next up, we have Massively Multiplayer World of Ghosts. This is the very first volume of a title that is the very first series, period, of Saturday AM. There's so many firsts of this, it's ridiculous. Let's bring on the fantastic young artist who illustrates this, my partner, Oscar Fong, my business partner.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys can hear me because I did not do a mic test before.
Oh, we can hear you fine, Oscar. How you doing?
All right. Well, I am doing all right. I'm very tired because I was watching from the very start, and
Oh, wow.
I had to wake up like 4 a.m.
Tell
Actually,
everybody where
5.
you're from.
I am currently in New Zealand right now. It is sunny outside, and I am missing my lunch.
Well, it won't be very long, but you know, MWOG, as we call it effectively, this has a lot of firsts to it. As I indicated, it was the very first title of Saturday AM. It's the first title where we had someone from New Zealand as a co-creator, producer of the content. It's the first series that features an Indian American lead character as the star of the series, and it offers some really cool visuals with your incredible talent. Tell people a little bit about what you like about working on MWOG.
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff. I mean, MWOG has like it's basically like a video game story. It's about a boy who gets a mysterious gift from his mother, like who's been missing from his life for years, and he uses this gift, which turns out to be like a gaming device, which allows him to summon a ghost avatar, which he names Faipinio, to help him like get through this whole worldwide underground game, so he can help figure out what happened to his mother. But there's also other problems where there's this other mysterious group that's after him, and these guys aren't afraid to break the rules. So if Nilay's gonna have to survive, he's gonna have to break the rules himself.
Really well said. And, you know, I think this, you know, with MWOG, what I love about Oscar's art, as you can see here, this is a really fun series. This is something that we know that young people can really appreciate and enjoy. We have a lot of young fans for it, but the story does have some really, you know, dynamic action, serious, tense moments. The fights are brutal, and the fights can get really brutal, and the ghosts can be very brutal. And so I think that this is just going to be something that everybody can really appreciate and get into. And I just so love the fact as well. I live in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. It's a big area, of course, but within it, we have some communities that have a high concentration of Indian Americans. And I just love being able to uncover kids I grew up with, being able to bring some of the stories I have with them to life in this amazing character of Nilai Rao. So we're really proud of this book. If you guys have not seen Oscar Fong's art, you will not be disappointed. This young man is a future star, and we're so excited to have MWOG available for you for pre-order right now. It's $13.99. It's got some excellent scenes in it. You're going to like it. And we look forward to you guys checking it out. Thank you, Oscar.
You're welcome.
All right. Next up, we have titles that are not yet available for pre-order. I'm going to tell you a little bit about these titles. Our second title from Saturday PM, our sibling magazine devoted to seinen content, is called Yellow Stringer. This is a title that I conceived for Jeffrey Jean-Louis, who was an artist who actually participated in one of our art tournaments or art events a couple of years ago. Jeffrey is amazing, as you can see here, and we're thrilled to be able to bring his work to the masses in this format. Is Jeffrey with us?
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Well, I'm waiting to hear if Jeffrey's with us. I forgot to mention that MWOG, this book is available now for pre-order. This does release in September 2022. Is Jeffrey with us?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jeffrey. Oh, Jeffrey,
Hey.
what I
What's
love about you is when you came in here, I expected you to be the stealth. But you came in making a lot of noise, but then when you spoke, it was the same old Jeffrey.
Oh, that's me. Hey, what can I say?
Jeffrey is the most laid-back, neutral person I've ever met in my entire life, and I'm 47 years old. Although he's close to other people. Peter Doney was one, and there's some other folks who have that style. Jeffrey, your art, I've told you before, your artwork there's so many people who are going to love your art because it evokes a classic era of manga back during the 80s. People like Kenichi Sonoda, who did Gunsmith Cats, or even amazing American artists, who work in that really loose style, like David Mazzucchelli and folks of the Chris Samney recently, who worked on the Hawkeye series. You just got some great David Aja, my bad, who did some amazing art. Your stuff is just absolutely fantastic. Talk a little bit about what you like about Yellow Stringer.
So with Yellow Stringer, it's really fun because I'm able to add so many different types of characters to it, because there's a lot of humans and monsters, obviously, and it's also a mystery series, like one of my favorite series, Detective Conan, too, which is a big thing that has inspired me. And yeah, just the way that the characters are, just I really adore them, and they're just really fun to draw.
I think one of the things, when Jeffrey, he participated in one of our Summer of Manga events, which we'll talk about tomorrow. But Jeffrey was an incredible artist, of course. Big. Everyone loved Jeffrey's stuff. When we were launching Saturday PM, and Jeffrey we had given him an opportunity to continue, and he wanted to create something. I asked him what he was into, and he mentioned Detective Conan. And I said, let's find a way to give you that type of content, because when you're talking to first up and coming artists, you want them to be comfortable with what they create. And this has been difficult. Yellow Stringer has been difficult because I came up with a great concept that takes place in a newspaper or a newsroom. And the idea is that these two individuals, who are very different from one another, Naomi, the young woman, she's a journalist that could have worked at the New York Times, the Washington Post. She could have been reporting from war zones, winning Pulitzers. Instead, she's working at the Yellow Stringer, which is like a grocery store newspaper rag that hawks ghosts and demon babies. And someone found, like, stories are like, well, someone found a demon in their Cheerios, and so no one can understand how this talented, attractive, magnetic young woman is doing this kind of seedy thing. She's partnered with someone, of course, who's much bigger than she is physically. Therefore, he's kind of meant to be more backup for her. He's an ex-cop. He lost his status as a police officer in disgrace. And so these two are a dynamic duo, like we've all seen in so many pieces of entertainment. But the thing is that what they report on, the beat that they cover, supernatural mysteries, is real. And so they find themselves oftentimes not just uncovering crazy phenomena that's happening, but also having to solve them before they get out of hand and threaten people. So really excited for this book. We've got it's got some great diversity in it. I won't spoil the diversity, but we've got some great things with Naomi's love life. And so we're really excited for this. And if you love Gunsmith Cats, X-Files, Supernatural, you're going to love this. It's funny, sexy horror comedy about two investigators, supernatural mystery. So great series coming out in October 2022. And this will be, again, $13.99. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, guys.
Next up, Jay, if you're back, let's talk about Hammer Volume 2. So that's right, folks. This first year, we're bringing you 2 volumes of Hammer by the one and only Jay Oden. So, Jay, are you back?
I'm ready. What's going on?
All right. So, first of all, I do love this new cover. I must admit, I was against you trying to change my cover, but a great job on this cover. This comes out in November 2022. this continues a story, and of course we don't want to spoil things, but this continues a story in an arc that the stud is involved in. And can you talk a little bit about the arc that starts in volume 1 and just kind of what's happening just generally with the storyline?
Yeah, so in volume 1, it starts off Stud's big adventure. He gets sucked into the book, and he falls into the Ocean Kingdom. And in the ocean, there's a lot of let's say a big event that happens, and now Stud teams up with a detective in the Ocean Kingdom to try and solve the case. So this second volume is kind of the second part of the entire arc. The major climax scene and all that. I'm really looking forward to having this come out too. There's still some more work I'm actually doing for this right now, but I'm really gun ho for it. So yeah.
Awesome. That's really fantastic. So Hammer continues just 6 months later, folks. So volume 1, you can pre-order right now. And in short order, within the next couple of months, you'll be able to pre-order Hammer volume 2. And that's 2 Hammer volumes you will be able to enjoy in 2022. So Jay's got a lot of work ahead of him. We're super excited. You're going to love this character. You're going to love this character's interactions. Hammer is one of our favorite series, and you're going to think you're going to love it too. Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you.
And then Apple Black Volume 2. So White can come back on here. And folks, so this is big because you all been dying for more Apple Black. And so Apple Black Volume 2 picks up from Apple Black Volume 1. It also comes out in November 2022. And White, why don't you take this opportunity to tell people again what the story is about Apple Black, those who don't know, and kind of give it about the arc that this book will be a part of from Volume 1 as well.
So Apple Black follows a young sorcerer named Sano, who is blessed with this mysterious arm. There's a lot of mysteries behind what the arm is for, but it's or what the purpose is, and why Sano has it. People mistake it from being even a wand in this world, because in this world, wands are essentially blessed items that sorcerers use to amplify their spells. And so he has this wand, said to be blessed by Merlin, seen as essentially a god of arm of a god, in this case the god of sorcery. And so he has to take on the responsibilities that are said to have come with that according to certain prophecies, while dealing with the disappearance of his father and the father's research on an immense power that is Apple Black, that is said to kind of rejuvenate sorcery in beings in this world. Because as years have gone by, people's powers and like sorcery kind of diminishes as generations go by. And so that's essentially what the Apple Black is. And so Sano has to struggle with that, and he's going to have allies, with their own goals, but some mutual goals in ridding this world of all of its atrocities and evils. But Sano has to then, dealing with those responsibilities with this powerful arm, think Dr. Manhattan, but in a hand. And he has to deal with the responsibilities of that and the prophecies that come with that, and these visions of his father's demise that kind of steer him towards the path of, kind of good and evil. And so part of the series also toy with the idea of what could happen if we get like a darker Sano or something like that. And so, without going into too much detail, that's what it is. And when in this first arc, Sano has kind of been released from isolation, because at this point nobody really knows of the existence of the arm is kind of like a myth and all of that. But there are people who know about it now, and they're coming for it, along with the research from his father in their country, in the Eden continent. And so there's somewhat of like an invasion style arc going on right now. The series doesn't full on start that way, but we ease into it, and volume 2 kind of continues that trend. There are some mini things in there as we explore other characters, and we kind of go through the dynamics between the characters, as well as explore the world a little bit and how the power system and sorcery works in this world. So that's what volume 1 and 2 kind of cover. I try not to use the term magic as much. It's almost like a branding thing. I I always say sword.
I always mess it up. 'Cause I remember you said it. And that's why I always get you what sorcerer magic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And we've had like, and obviously this book is gonna have like post credit scenes and all that. But we've talked about some of that multiverse type stuff about Sano and maybe even cast and some of the similarities with their arms, even the way it's designed, the patterns on the top of the arm, and how maybe she's more of like a science, and Sano's more of like a sorcery, almost like an Iron Man, Doctor Strange type dynamic, but probably more youthful, and obviously would have very different dynamics as well. But that's just a close comparison, even though it would be very different from that.
So, folks, there's your tease. You may just see, if you check out Apple Black Volume 1 and 2, these new editions, you may just see some guest stars inside of Apple Black, of course, illustrated by the one and only White Manga. So stay tuned for that, and make sure you pre-order Apple Black Volume 1 today, and make sure you keep your eyes open for Apple Black Volume 2. We're not going to let you miss it, but make sure you check out Apple Black Volume 2 when that arrives, and pre-order that, because some great new additions to this amazing story are there. And of course, Apple Black fans are going to just jump when they see some of the things that White has added into the story. So thank you, White, for Apple Black Volume 2. Now, folks, we have the final book of 2022, and this is very different. This book is really different. We're announcing tonight our first original graphic novel. So everything that you've just seen, they came from the magazines that we produce and have produced since 2013, Saturday AM or Saturday PM or Saturday Brunch. But tonight, we're telling you the final book of our 2022 journey with Quarto Group, and it is all original. The book is called Saturday AM Annual. It will also retail for $13.99, and it is the ultimate version of Saturday AM digital magazines. In fact, we expect this to be a yearly ode to some of the top diverse manga-inspired comics from around the world, with the top promising global artists that we can find. And of course, the question is, how can we find them? And the answer is super easy, because for years, we've produced one of the most exciting art tournaments and short story events in the world. Our March Art Madness competition every year gives away devices, art supplies, money, and in some cases, art contracts, professional jobs where artists get a chance to cut their teeth on much bigger stages. Video games, toys. Every year, we introduce and discover new amazing creators to March Art Madness. And then shortly after March Art Madness ends, which of course takes place in March, we then unveil an event called Summer of Manga, which brings us incredible talent offering short stories to test their skill inside of the pressure cooker that is Saturday AM, and bi-weekly issues throughout the summer. Saturday AM Annual, we hope, will become a yearly celebration of those events by taking the best creators of those groups and putting them in an art contract for us to produce original content that you've not seen before. Now, you will see some familiar faces, either as artists or with characters, and we're going to walk you through that right now. First up, Orisha, which you saw on the cover. This has been one of our most popular series. The creator Zaif, who hails from Nigeria, is an alumni of March Art Madness and Summer of Manga in the past, and he created a African shonen series. I think for those of us, I remember Cindy interacting with him, and I remember interacting with him years ago, and it is just ridiculous, the growth that he has shown as a creator. So when I approached him to be a part of Saturdayam Annual and help us kick off this first event, I was so happy that he accepted. And we were so happy to get him in a financial position to do this special project for us. It's going to be an all-new short story featuring the hero Ibuki, as he's on the hunt for other Orisha other celestial beings, African gods that exist in the world. And he's going to regret looking for this particular Orisha. Here's a sneak peek of what will surely be a really exciting and action-packed short story featuring one of our most popular new protagonists. Next up, we have Judgment Joker, which is a spin-off of our massively multiplayer World of Ghosts. This is created by Marinos Baziadakis, and he is also an alumni of our March Art Madness and Summer of Manga. Are you guys seeing a theme? He's from Greece. This title was originally scheduled to appear in a physical magazine we were developing. Now you know why we haven't developed it, folks. Those of you who heard my interview earlier with Stu Levy, CEO and founder of Tokyo Pop, we just couldn't get the support for it. We had a lot of interest, but we couldn't get the funding support that we needed. So we decided to add it into our graphic novel, and we're so excited. We've had time to retrofit the story a little bit, to clean up some of the art, and we think you guys are going to love this new spin-off of Mastery Multiplayer World of Ghosts, where the hero is actually a vigilante, a superhero who fights injustice. And he uses a ghost that he can summon, just like in World of Ghosts, to help him in these struggles. So Mastery Multiplayer World of Ghosts, Judgment Joker, a special short story, will debut in Saturdayam Annual 2023, coming this December. Next up, and this is some of the things you can see that was done with it. So we've refined the costume a little bit. Marinos has been working with Jay Oden to really tweak the pages and make them more expressive and more detailed. And we're excited about the future of Judgment Joker. Next up, we have an original title from a concept that I created for one of our artists who also debuted in March Art Madness and Summer Manga, and it is called The Enemy of Crime. Prince Awaredu, who you all will know on social media as Lord Katadwe, was one of the more celebrated artists during March Art Madness. He went far in the competition, and then he had one of the more interesting and popular short stories in last year's Summer Manga called Mizuku, about an African sort of dark fantasy that featured a character on a dragon. This new short story is inspired by the Fist of the North Star. So I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to say anything more about it, except to say that if you thought how cool Fist of the North Star is, and you all know, if you heard me earlier, know how much I think Fist of the North Star is cool, seeing it in a setting that we think is going to really make people excited, with a black character who is like a mixture of Kintaro and Shaft, is going to be really, really, really badass. You'll be able to enjoy Enemy of Crime, the short story, inside of Saturdayam Annual as well. The other title, False Hoods. This title is from Frank Simmons, who also participated in past March Art Madness and Summer of Manga. Now, where Lord Katadwe is from Ghana, which we're super excited about, first creator from Ghana, Frank is from America, but Frank is an incredible guy. I am so happy to be working with Frank. He is, just simply put, one of the nicest, one of the most talented, one of the most humble people you'll meet. I've been really stoked to have a chance to see this guy. He's been drawing fan art of our characters and stuff for some time. He participated in the events, and he is, I think people are going to discover him and flip. I also can't spoil this one, but I will say this one, what Frank and I were really determined to do after we spoke, is to try to find a story that would be something we've ever done in Saturdayam before, which is really provide tension and question people's perceptions of things and challenge their sense of threat. And we think people are going to really dig False Hoods. It's got a very cool premise to it. I don't want to spoil. You'll get to experience it this coming December. Last but not least, you've seen this title before if you've been with us for a long time. I've been speaking to this young creator for years because the minute I met her, I was so impressed. I so wanted to continue working with her. I so believe in her concept. We couldn't do it at the time. She went to college. This is how also Saturdayam's been around, folks, is that she went to college, came out, got a job, and it's been that long since we last saw her. But I'm so pleased she accepted my offer and is willing to come on for the short story for the first Saturdayam Annual. I think everyone is going to know about the series at some point in the near future, and I'm happy that it's part now of Saturday AM. It's called Animale, and it's a story about a giraffe named Ono who wants to be king of the beast. He is a giraffe, so the king of the beast tend to be predators. He's tired of the prejudice that comes with being an animal that is not constantly trying to prey on other creatures. He feels that he can fight. He feels that he wants to learn how to fight. And he's willing to enter the tournament to coin the new king of the beast, to crown the new king of the beast, sorry, when the old king of the beast, the Lion King, dies. You're going to love this. I've been waiting to tell you all about this for years. I've stayed in touch with Philippe. I've been one of her biggest fans. I, of course, love anything that we can do to promote female creators who have great content like any of our creators. And God knows, I love this concept the minute I heard it the first time. This is another image of Ono. And I just want to give you this behind the scenes of Impala. Now, Impala is going to be your new favorite character because Impala, that's Impala's name, is Impala. Ono is a giraffe, but his name is Ono. Impala's name is Impala. And the reason Impala's name is Impala is because Impala's people are constantly getting eaten. They're the most eaten creatures in the jungle. And so Impala's parents determined that Impala will never amount to anything but another creature's snack. So they just called their child Impala. Ono is best friends with Impala. Impala wants to believe in Ono's journey. Ono wants to inspire Impala. And I'm here to tell you that you are going to become a believer as well in the world of Animale. All of this will release in December. 5 original short stories. We're going to have articles and other content as well in our final graphic novel of 2022. Now you're asking, okay, how can I get these books? Really simple, folks. These books, thanks to the incredible support of the Quarto group, is going to be available in bookstores around the world. We're talking Waterson's in the UK, Books A Million, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and more. Now, you already can go to these sites and pre-order the books. But the key thing about it is that we're not stopping there. And if you are one of our many fans in one of our 60-plus countries that support us, do know that Quarto is helping us as well ensure that we can get these books to you in your native language. We don't have the deals on that quite yet. We don't have the terms and times on those yet, but we're working towards it. And we want to support our fan bases everywhere. But for now, you can ensure our line has the best possible beginning by supporting our books at these retailers or more. Over the next couple of days, you will be able to follow our creators on social media. You'll see their social media links, and they will send you to what we call smart links. And these smart links will recognize the geocoded area you're from and take you to a site that is most appropriate for your region. So if you are in another country, if you speak another language, it's going to take you to the appropriate place. So we're really excited about this program. And I want to tell you about the pre-order program itself. Now, we wanted to do something really special. And we've got a lot of things coming. For instance, you're going to be able to see our creators on your screens and in your stores in the weeks and months to come. Now, of course, that's all permitting Omicron and the coronavirus. But we're so committed to making sure that you have a chance to increase your fandom with Saturday AM by making sure that our creators and our staff can reach you. So stay tuned for information about things that we'll be doing to make sure that we tell you more about our products. Again, possibly in custom videos in your school or in your local library or at your local comic convention. But you don't have to wait for that. You can pre-order today, and we want to make it special for you. So we're working on developing something really, really cool. We want to give you guys a product that is completely collectible and exclusive for buying or pre-ordering our books. We're coming out with a set of trading cards. These trading cards are original. They're going to star the diverse manga heroes of Saturday AM. You will get a pack, just like you would in the store, complete with the wrapper, illustrated with Saturday AM characters and graphics. Inside of the pack will be 5 cards, 4 standard and 1 chase card. These cards feature original art or original presentations of existing artwork you may not have seen in a while that we just repurposed but put some really new things with it, as you can see here. The back of the cards will have information about your favorite heroes. So if you're discovering Saturday AM, we want to make it easy for you to uncover why you might want to pre-order that other book from the other creator, because we want you to know how exciting our worlds are. These trading cards are free. The packs are free when you pre-order a book. And since there's so many cards, in fact, there'll be over 25 cards, the best way to complete the set is by pre-ordering all the books. Now, we know, and we're not telling you that what you have to do, but what I personally hope you will do is just have fun with this. And we hope that some schools and some playgrounds and some neighborhoods, some clubs will have young people doing what we used to do back in the day and talking about Saturday AM characters, championing your favorite characters, and trading the cards to complete your set. But it starts by pre-ordering the book. Now, the strategy will be, as you pre-order the books, we'll have a sign-up sheet soon on the, or maybe already be on the Quarto website. I will get details of that and report on that tomorrow. But you'll be able to go there and you'll be able to fill out the information. And if you show proof of purchase, and when your book arrives, you're going to get that pack of cards. It will be randomized, a pack of cards, so we'll be releasing them every time we have new books coming out. So again, your chances of completing the set are greatly enhanced by you pre-ordering all the books. To show you what the cards look like, this is just a glimpse. There's over 25 cards, but here's a few of them. Beautiful new artwork. Stud Hammer from Jay Oden. Daedalus Bond, one of the most fearsome ghosts that you can summon from Mastery Multiplayer World of Ghosts. Sano Tamashi from Apple Black, from, of course, the one and only white manga. And an extremely pixelated version of Clock Striker, Shonen Manga's first black female lead character, who you may be seeing this year in some of the books. So really excited for this, folks. We're really excited for your support of our line, and we hope you guys will really appreciate everything that we have going on. Now, folks, we're going to have some more announcements that we have planned to do tonight, including new manga titles. But I do want to leave you with one thing. So I hope you're not planning on going anywhere, because I do want to leave you with one thing to kind of let you know how serious we are about this graphic novel program. What you just saw here is what's coming out in 2022. But what we want to make sure you understand is that we've got one more exciting announcement about the graphic novel program that we think you're going to really love. And with that, I want to show you guys a little video. I guess I have to show you the video. Sorry. I'll bring the video up, guys. Don't worry. I guess I've got this right. I guess I've got it. So, folks, as you saw there, our program is going full steam ahead for the next few years. And you're not going to stop seeing more Apple Black, more Hammer, and more of our exciting series within Saturday AM. We're incredibly excited about the fact that Hammer and Apple Black will be releasing 2 volumes in 2023, going from volume 3 to volume 4. And then in 2024, volume 5. Furthermore, we're going to be bringing to you a light novel spinoff of Apple Black in 2024. We've got additional products featuring our amazing characters, and there'll be additional volumes of these series that we'll announce at the appropriate time. As you see, we're not stopping. This opportunity that Quarto Group has given us, we intend to fully embrace and show you guys why we're so proud to work with them, and hopefully make them proud by creating content that you will discover and love, because we're creating a new type of manga for the fans who exist around the world. So tomorrow, please tune in. We will be unveiling some new series that'll be joining Saturday AM and Saturday PM and Saturday Brunch. We'll be talking about some great elements of our business that we have yet to announce, things that we'll be doing in the space of apparel and other areas. You're going to hear about some of the things that we've done in the past, like our toys that we created with Jabberwocky. We've got a great panel tomorrow with Cryptozoic CEO John Sepulvik, who has stories for days and will tell you about this industry from the toy and collectible car perspective. You're going to hear about creating animation, and we'll be making some news there as well. You're going to hear about video games and how we did our project with Flick Solitaire and Ian Masters, and what other companies are doing, such as Vox Pop. But more than anything, you're going to hear about some new projects that we've got. And we're really excited to tell you about our project coming soon with Lilith Games, makers of AFK Arena. So that all happens tomorrow. That's our presentation for today. Thank you so much for making this day really, really special for the history of Saturday AM. We've had many milestones, from the very first night that Raymond and I stayed up and put together the first issue till our 50th issue, and White did this beautiful, beautiful cover. And then when he created this really beautiful poster years later, to all the amazing creators that we've discovered from around the world, to the partnerships that we forged in Japan and Germany, in the UK and South Africa. We're really excited about the future, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So thank you for showing up today. Thank you for embracing our brand. And I'm going to be signing off tonight, but I think that a few of our folks would love to meet you. And so for our amazing creators and for our amazing staff, Carlos Benitez, Demetrian Billups, and Jackie Rendy, I leave you all with have a chance to meet and talk to them for the next, I guess, 30 minutes. I don't know how long this thing can last, but if they wish to stay, we'll keep this platform open for you guys to have a chance to speak to them, ask them questions, and celebrate in this great, diverse, independent manga movement that we are so proud to be a part of. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.